This is Mr. Beck Does Your Homework, Physics Homework 16, question number 13. Figured I'd throw in a fun one for you. A 127 kilogram block is released at a height h equals 4.4 meters as shown. The track is frictionless except for a portion of length 7.1 meters. The block travels down the track, hits a spring of force constant K equals 1779 newtons per meter, and compresses at 1.6 meters from its equilibrium position before coming to rest momentarily. Determine the coefficient of kinetic friction between the surface and the block over the 7.1 meter track length. So you're looking for mu, the coefficient of friction. Well, let's see how we're going to get here. What we do know is we got the mass, and we know gravity, and we know the height over here, so we can figure out the energy it has here. We know the spring constant and how much it's compressed, so we know the total energy here. Now, what friction does is take away energy. So we can first figure out how much energy was lost because of this friction, because that's going to be the difference in this energy that it had and this energy it has. So over here, it's all potential energy, so I can take my potential energy gravity at the top and subtract how much energy it has here, which is going to be potential energy in the spring at the bottom, and that's going to equal my change in TME, which is going to equal how much work was done by friction. Let's start there. So my potential energy gravity here is going to be mgh, minus my potential energy spring here is 1/2 kx squared, is going to equal my work done. So this is a mass of 127, gravity is 9.8, my height is 4.4 meters, minus 1/2 of k of 1779 times x squared, that's 1.6 squared, is going to equal the amount of work. So all that's going to give me some number of work. Now, what is doing that work? This is lost energy. This is how much energy friction took away. So this is going to be the force of friction times the distance I traveled. My distance is 7.1 meters. So if I take my work and I divide it by distance, I will get the force of friction. So that's the work. The distance is 7.1 meters. That gives me my force of friction. Now, what's mu? Well, mu is going to be the force of friction divided by the normal force. And my normal force, in this case, since it's on a horizontal surface, my normal force is going to equal the force of gravity. So that's going to equal the mass times the acceleration of gravity. So I got my force of friction from this, and I've got my normal force is going to be mg, and that will give me my coefficient of friction.